Good day, viewers. Welcome and thank you for joining us. You're watching Open Studio right on Cape Town TV. My name is Danny Cambo. I've got Harrieth Booysen with me in studio from the Helping Hearts and Hands Foundation. All right, she's here to tell us a little bit about what the organization does, how they are serving the community in this difficult time we find ourselves of COVID-19. So, Harrieth, welcome to the show.
Thank you
Oh,
for having me.
oh, you're welcome. So, for those that's watching, I just mentioned your name, but if you don't mind to briefly just give us a little bit of intro about yourself.
Okay, my name is Harrieth Booysen, and I'm staying in Belhar at this very moment. Um, so I'm the chairperson of Helping Hearts and Hands Foundation. That is the foundation that I started in 2016.
Oh, 2016.
2016.
All right. Well, speaking to earlier on, I see you've got quite an amazing background. Yeah, if you don't mind sharing with us, a little bit your story.
I was born in Elsies River, Clark Estate. We moved, I was 3 years old, then we moved to Belhar, where I actually grew up. But Elsies River, one thing I can remember of Elsies River was I was staying in the flats, and the side is a flat and the opposite side is also a flat. And one thing that sticks in my mind was how the people hang their washing. So the washing hang from the one flat to the other. So that was one of my childhood memories that I always remember of Clark Estate.
Oh, Clark Estate.
Yes.
Does the store look the same if you go there today with the?
It does. It does.
Okay.
It looks the same exactly like it looked years ago. Yes.
So transitioning from Elsies River to Belhar, will you say you're in a better place now, or is the circumstances still the same?
The circumstances is the same. Everything in the area is still the same. Like I grew up in an area where you can knock on your neighbor's door and ask, can you give me a little bit of salt? Can you give me a little bit of sugar and stuff like that? In Belhar, the same. Our neighbors all know each other. Everybody talk with each other. Everybody knows each other's business and stuff like that. So yeah, I actually also went to primary school in Clark Estate, Elsies River. So I finished my primary school that side, and that was also very nice.
Okay. Wow, sounds like you come from a very beautiful community, so to speak, and you've been blessed to go again into a community like that. So, will you say, looking at your past, the experiences you've had, are they the influences, or are they the things that influenced you to start this organization?
Yes. I actually saw how we grew up, and there wasn't a lot of NPOs or a lot of community or a lot of community workers back then because things were cheaper and people were there for one another. But at this time, it's much different. This generation, it's much different than it was years ago, or maybe when I was younger.
Mhm. Well, so if we look at the two communities, if you don't mind me asking, the community of Elsies River and now Belhar, sorry, would you say the needs are the same based on your experience, seeing that you've had to base off both sides?
Yes, the needs are the same. Because I was Clark Estate and the extension side of Belhar where I'm staying, the needs are more or less the same. Children need the same needs, grown-ups the same needs, gangsterism, drugs, everything is the same. So everything that side in Elsies River and as well as Belhar.
So, like you mentioned now, everything is the same, and one of the things that you mentioned is drugs, gangsterism, and amidst all the good things, there are those negatives as well, and we can't really give a blind eye to it because they are happening. So, what would you say saved you, from being caught up in that kind of world?
Um, what saved me, I was actually, when I was young, I was also part of that world. One thing that actually stood out for me was that was all as a child I was seeing. And most of our young people saw that. They saw gangsterism, they saw drug abuse, they saw people standing on the corners, having guns, having night track suits on. So they want to be that. That is the most of the time the role models for our children. And once in my life, I decided I want to do that and I want to go that road. I think it was between the age of 16 and 17 where I decided that I want to try and use drugs.
Wow.
Yes.
So how did that decision?
That decision come when I was in my secondary school. So I moved from Elsies River to Excelsior. Excelsior High School. I was there for my secondary school year. And I was a very, very good girl at school. And I wasn't very the brightest, but there was
Some knowledge there.
some knowledge, yes. And in my time of school by Excelsior, I was very, very, very into my work, my schoolwork, and doing best or doing my best in class. And then, like peer pressure, wrong friends, thinking grade 10, things started to change for me. And that was the time when I was we throw money together to buy our first dacha. So then at school, it actually started. So I think in my 16, 17 years of age, I started to take my first hit of tuck. And that first hit changed my life, my teenage life, for the worst.
Wow. So how did you overcome it? How did you come out the other side?
Okay, I was in rehab 2008. I was in rehab, and I just went. There was only a few weeks I was clean, and after that, I wasn't clean anymore. So I started using drugs again. They told me in rehab that you need to change your people, your things, and your places. And what that is things that I couldn't change. I couldn't change my people, and I couldn't change my things, and I couldn't change stuff. So that was actually the time where I start. That was the worst in my drugs. So I was using mandrax, heroin, dacha, as well as unga and tuk. So all of that drugs I was using. I think I went to rehab with the thought I want to do it for my mom and for my dad. And also by that time I was having a small job, so I wanted to do the change for them. But I didn't want it to change for myself.
And that's where the difficulty comes. Yeah, wow. Hearing you speak about that, it's somehow it's tragic, but also a beautiful story because you came up the other side, you made it, so to speak, and now you get to be an inspiration to other people, and I'm sure you're doing that through your organization. And the one thing you mentioned also was, the peer pressure when you around friends. I remember in school where we put money together and stuff, but I was just too childish. But anyways, we'll talk more about it when we come back from the break. So for those that's watching at home, guys, I urge you to not go anywhere. More on Mrs. Booysen when we come back. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back. You're still watching Open Studio right here on Cape Town TV. My name is Danny Kamba. I've got Harrieth Booysen with me in studio. She is the chairperson of the organization called Helping Hearts and Helping Hands. Am I correct?
Helping hearts and hands.
Helping Hearts and Hands. There you go. All right, so we spoke earlier on about your background, how you came up, the challenges you faced, the challenges you've overcome, and also now we are going to tap into the organization which you built so beautifully in aid for the community that you find yourself in. All right, so for those that's watching at home, can you just give us, a bit of background as to what inspired you to start this organization and how it came about?
In 2016, the first time I actually started with this initiative, or I didn't, there wasn't a name attached. There was no name. There wasn't anything like Helping Hearts and Hands Foundation. Me and a friend of mine just one day decided we're gonna make a pot of soup, and then we went to one of the primary schools in our area. So that started there, and when we got home, our hearts were so blessed and our hearts were so happy to do this for our community. The next week we do it again, and it follows up until we decided that I must actually register and register the MPO and get my papers in order and everything on track for the MPO to be registered.
Wow, and I like the fact that you went to the kids,
Yes.
because a lot of challenges you faced was as a kid. So just giving them that hope is what's beautiful. So in which community are you currently working?
I'm working in Belhar, sometimes in Delft and Bellville surroundings. Last year Christmas we actually feed the homeless and the shelters in the Bellville surroundings, the whole Bellville for 2020 Christmas. So that was our initiative. On Christmas at the 25th of December, we went out and we go feed the community in Bellville.
On Christmas Day, when everybody else is at home enjoying, you out working. Wow, amazing. So you know, you mentioned now that you worked in Christmas, and I'm thinking, you know, gone. I don't know if that's the right word to say. Gone are those days, because we find ourselves in a much difficult period now. You know, and I don't know if Christmases will ever be the same again. You know, but you know, hearing you speak, there's hope, I suppose. So tell me, how is the pandemic, you know, living in this current time, how has it, yeah, affected you guys having to work?
You know, in our organization, this is the best time for our organization to actually work. Yeah, there's other programs we also do, like learning children to read by our local library, Genoot Library in Belhar, and also I'm part of the youth center in our area. So we can't do that anymore. But what we can do, we feed now. We feed, and then we have small courses where we people come and empower us, so that we can go out and empower our women, our youth, our children. Yeah, so that is what we do at the moment. But at this moment, we're actually feeding a lot, much more than we used to feed. And yeah, so every like 3 times a week. For this week, we actually feed already 2 times. So we feed every time we get a chance. We do feed
Wow. So
our
how,
community.
in terms of support, you know, because I mean, these things has to be bought, you know, people that are doing this, the service have to be cared for. So in terms of support, how are you managing that?
You know, we go out of our own pockets, and then we also look in our cupboards. So that, and then there's also an organization called STEP. It's STEP, Stronger Together, to encouraging people. We are affiliated with them. So yearly, Old Mutual gives us a small amount of money to help us with just something for the community. And then further on, we do like people get we get donations, and then further on, we take out of our own pockets, like I said before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. So most of the time you're taking out of your own pockets.
Yeah, and the council in our area, the councillors, both our councillors After and Councillor Dalmain, they're very good towards our organization.
Wow. So you also mentioned that there is a school teaching kids.
Yes.
So that is in collaboration with the library.
With the library.
Tell us, how does that work?
Yes, it's in collaboration with the library. Most of our children can't read, and we see the need. If you can't read, then you can't learn. So if you go by the library, then you will learn to read. So if you learn to read, then you have knowledge, then you have power. So that is where we come in. And we also work as the walking bus. So the walking bus is at the schools. So if you're at the school, you can see this child or that one, and we also help. So yeah, we form part 2020 with the walking bus as well. There was children getting missing in different areas, especially in Elsies. There was one young girl that was missing in Elsies River, 2020 last year. So we as a community, we actually decided we want to be part of the walking bus, taking children to school. We put them over the road, take them to the schools, different schools in our area.
Wow, is that what the walking bus
The
does?
walking bus is all about.
Okay, because I think I've come across something like that a couple of times in various other communities.
Yes, it's
where
all
there's,
over.
yeah,
All over.
you
It's
get
yeah.
different aunties every day walking kids.
Yes, and that is what we do in our area, Bella. It wasn't there for quite a while, but it's there now. So the extension, yeah, we do that every day. And when we don't work, like school holidays, then we also go patrol on the in the malls, to hotspots in our area.
Like a neighborhood watch.
Then like a neighbor, like yeah. So we
Oh wow, you guys are quite busy.
quite busy,
Yeah.
quite busy. And they also help us when we feed.
Okay.
Then they help with the social distancing and the sanitizing.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So you watch out for each other.
we watch out for each other.
All right. So you also mentioned about the woman empowerment.
Yes.
When you are empowered, you get to empower them.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you guys get to empower these women?
We do courses. Our library actually have empowerment courses. So if they have anything, they will let us know.
Okay.
And then I will get a few ladies together, and then they will empower us. So with all the information we gain there, we go out to our communities, and then we give our information there.
Okay. So besides the food, you know, when you're speaking about communicating,
Yes.
sharing of information, how is the community? How have they welcomed that kind of initiative? You know, because it's different approaching people with food, because then you can feed the stomach.
Feed the stomach.
But if you go just with information, not everybody really takes it. So how have you guys been able
That's
to?
why we actually go with the food.
Oh,
And then
okay.
we will get it across better.
Okay.
Because then we will feed you like your mind and we'll feed your tummy.
Your tummy.
Yeah. So that is
Okay.
what we do. And we also do small workshops. So then we can spread the information there as well.
Okay.
So then we can share that information that we learn. Then we can bring it across to them on that level. Also.
On that level. Very, very smart. Wow. Thank you for that. We're going to take another short break. When we come back, we're going to discuss everything that's planned for the future for the organization. All right. All right, guys, we are almost at the end of the show, but stay tuned. You can still learn something new. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, guys. I'm joined in studio with Harrieth Booysen, who's from an organization called Helping Hearts and Hands. Earlier on, we spoke a little about her background. We spoke about what the organization is doing. And now we're going to dive a bit deeper into the moments that stood out for her, as well as the future plans of the organization. All right. So you mentioned something very, very exciting that happened. I think, was it last year?
It's this year.
This year.
This year.
So tell us a little bit about that moment.
Okay. That was our highlight for 2021. We actually enrolled in a competition. It's an old mutual competition. And like I said earlier on, we are affiliated with STEP. So STEP did send us an email and tell us that there's a competition. And if we want to partake, then we need to send a video, 90-second video. And me and my prayer group and also my family, Helping Hearts and Hands Foundation, we do everything together. We cry together, we laugh together, we celebrate together, we do everything together. And then we start by doing a video. And there was so much fun, there was so much togetherness, there was so much oneness in that video. And then by I think 3 weeks after that, we found out that we are shortlisted. Oh, wow. And we were so happy, we celebrated. And we were shouting and we were very, very excited. Yeah. I think 2 weeks after that, 3 weeks, we found out that we are the winners. Wow. So we won the Sisonke Old Mutual competition.
Wow. So what was in that video?
The video was actually of the pandemic, how did it affect us and how many people we feed and what do we do. So there was a time in this pandemic where we didn't have a transport. So we put our food in the trolley and we walked street by street. Oh, wow. There was a time where people couldn't even come out to come and get food. So then we go street by street, door to door, in a trolley, out of our own cupboards. Wow. We fed the community.
Oh, then you guys deserve that Sisonke prize, hey?
Yes, we did.
Wow. So I can only assume that there's more of this awesomeness happening in the future. Yeah. So tell us, what is the future plans for the organization?
The future plans, actually, for Helping Hearts and Hands Foundation is like a multi-purpose center. Okay. We want to empower entrepreneurs as well as disability people, people with disabilities from a young age, and also people that doesn't think much of themselves. We want to have a safe house. Yeah. And there's a lot of development even for young people, for adults, for elderly, like a club where they can come together and come and do whatever they feel like they want to do. Yeah. So we want to, for future plans, we want like a multi-purpose center. Okay. So where everybody can do anything they want to come and do and form part of the big family that we are.
Wow. And like, do you see that happening? Because I see you mentioned you've got very good support from both councillors. Yes. So do you see this actually taking place?
I see it actually happens more and like a rehab center, because that is one thing that we don't have in our area. We don't have a rehab center. We don't have a place where people, when I feel like I want to quit. And there was a time for me also when I feel I wanted to quit, but there was no hand I can reach out to. Yeah. So there was nobody reaching out to me, or there was no place I can go to for meetings, for just to keep my mind sane, just to keep me, to help me. So that is also one thing that my heart bleeds for. Yeah. It's for a rehab center, for a place where people, if I don't want to use drugs anymore, if I don't want to use alcohol anymore, I need to go to a place and I need to get help there from that place.
Wow. And one of the beautiful things you mentioned is that you want to cater for the disabled. Yes. And many times we overlook them.
Overlook them.
Yeah. Wow. And How have you already decided as to how you want to help them, what you want to do for them?
Yeah.
Is-
What I actually want to do, there's
Yeah.
one of the guys that is our media guy, and he's in a wheelchair,
Okay.
and he helps us a lot. His name is Waden, very very good guy, and he's disabled, and he take pictures, he do video, he do everything. He's in the media, he's a professional photographer.
Oh, wow.
So if he can do it,
Mhm.
and there's other disabled people that doesn't get help,
Yeah.
that doesn't get that, but if he can, everybody can. He can
Yeah.
actually maybe teach them how to. So yeah, so
Wow.
that is why we actually want to do something for the people that is disabled, because there is something they can do.
Wow. Well, you want to do everything and all of this for other people. What about you? What is in store for you for the future?
You know, I'm still young.
Yeah.
I'm studying at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm still young, and I feel I want to do this. Most of the people that's also in our organization was people that was just at home. They didn't have anything to do, or maybe didn't do anything at the moment, or they want to be part of the community, or they want to do something in the community, but they didn't know how to.
Yeah.
So yeah, a young lady in her 30s come, and then she said, come man,
Give them a
it's
platform.
gonna be nice, it's
Yeah.
gonna be very nice, come, we just do it. And they are cooking their hearts on the table. Our food is so nice, people come with 4 or 5 plates, so their hearts is on the table.
Yeah.
And the people that's in the group, we don't do it to let other people see us. It must come from
the
here.
heart. Exactly.
So that is why the organization's name is Helping Hearts. So if it's not from here, then it's not a good cause.
Yeah.
But it must come from here. And when it comes from here, then your hands can reach your pocket, can reach your cupboard, can reach everything.
Yeah.
So it must come from the
Wow.
heart.
So if there's anybody watching right now that wants to support your initiative or want to sponsor your movement, how can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of us on Facebook. Also on our email address, Helping Hearts and Hands Foundation at gmail.com. And also 071 610 8459. That is
8459.
8459.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
our number.
for closing, I'm thinking you mentioned about your background, and there could be somebody right now sitting at home going through the same thing, has been in rehab but is found himself back again, and want help. What message do you have for that person?
One message I do have for a person that is sitting at home and asking himself, how am I going to get out of this? There's hope. There is hope. And if I look at myself and I ask myself that there was a time in my life when I asked myself, Harriet, who are you? And I didn't have an answer. And that was my turning point. I didn't know who I am. And that was a very sad time for me as well in my life, because I didn't know what is my life all about? Who am I? And today I want to encourage someone that is maybe sitting with the question, who am I? You are somebody God created in the perfect image, and there is a perfect plan that God has for you. So it's not always easy, it's not always good, but there is a plan and a purpose for you. So you have destiny. Stand up, get your life in order, and everything will be fine.
Wow. Thank you so much for that message. Hey guys, I hope for those that's watching at home, you are able to catch something from that message and make the most out of it. Be of service, be of help. Go out there, help those in need, help your community, and be the best version of yourself, as Harriet has mentioned. So thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, my name is Danny Cambo. Until next time, bye-bye.